Humans cannot perceive change when it creeps along beside us. Over eons, with nature we adapt, taking turns in each other's footsteps. Coal sparked the Industrial Revolution. Black smoke streaked our Arctic snow cores, with factories spewing CO2 pollution. Today's climate change began only 200 years ago. In the last 50 years, 3 billion birds have vanished. We paved their habitat. What progress that will bring. Gone from forests, grasslands, our backyards, their songs. How did we miss Rachel Carson's warning in Silent Spring? So at what pace change until we understand? How many forest fires gobbling towns? How many more droughts can we withstand before we can acknowledge that something's wrong? Now heat domes pressure cook our farms and lands. When soil microbes die, life-giving farms turn into sand. The vast atmospheric rivers kidnap our rains, plunging floods onto some and drought onto others. As the last mountain glaciers melt, our rivers rise. We rejoice, yet again we've misread the signs. If no snow falls to replace that essential ice, both rivers and lives will soon run dry. Surely now, our governments will respond and rescue us from global climatic disaster. But please recall that oil and gas addicted UCB halted investment into clean energy. As we drive our glamorous SUVs to shop, let's note our windshields are pristine and bug-free because we demand perfect produce from corporate crops. Our nature's sure demise needs our complicity. Now you may have noticed that our coulees are beautiful and green this year. At this time last year, they were bone dry. In June last year, the coulees sat dry and crisp. As we walked, even the bugs sought a way out. Jumping onto our socks and pants, they rode into our homes, nourished by our fresh blood. With grasses gone, the rodents looked for seeds. Flowers wilted on their stems and set no fruit. From mice and voles to bunnies and gophers, burrows were soon empty of food and their young. Raptors careening on thermal updrafts conserved their energy looking for prey. Without rodents to feed their offspring, their numbers, parallel to the rodents, dwindled. Foxes, coyotes, wolves, and cougars all grew gaunt as last summer dragged on. Hunting areas became wider and larger until some of them found their way into our town. Now and then a moose follows our river and tries to play golf in Paradise Canyon, or a cougar stealthily pads by in the night. But a cougar in daylight is quite a fright. And now one's been seen in the river valley, and one jumped from a tree in a backyard and chased a dog and frighted a family. From one animal, we're all on high guard. We're warned to go walking with others on trails. We're warned to go walking with others on trails. Take bear spray and never make eye contact. As you slowly back away from the cougar, just make sure you're not the slowest. But if you are slow and you cannot run, you might actually be in less danger. Just suggest to your friend that he might run screaming like a scared bunny. Then watch what happens. Thank you.
So I have two poems to read tonight. The first one's a little long and heavy, And I'm going to end that with a light and happy short one. So let's see. This is the Garden of Armageddon. I walked toward the country club today along a rose-lined path that smelled divine. Clay-colored sparrows buzzed along the way, and though the sun was bright, the day was fine. James chose this walk, but I was glad he had. June blooms made it a perfect coulee scene, the kind of walk where no one could stay sad, within magenta, gold, and emerald green. I walked and listened to the others talk of Armageddon while we walked along. James often talks to people as we walk, though I'd prefer to hear the sparrow's song. A man James spoke with mentioned sacrifice, that just the Christian God had died for men. Since death and Armageddon isn't nice to dwell on, James just talked of love right then. I listened to them as I walked ahead, to focus more on things that I preferred, the nature that was blooming there instead. I didn't turn away from what I heard, although my back faced them and not my face. I listened, but had nothing much to add, and so I let the talkers have their space. I said to James, perhaps we should be glad we didn't have our children after all, since now we needn't worry. We can live and smell each rose before the petals fall. I really haven't any hope to give. Hope really is a heavy cross to bear. The Christians hope that Jesus rose again. The atheists feel certain God's not there, and I'm agnostic to both types of men. Both hopelessness and hope are not for me. I try to fill my heart with love each day. It grows from all the flowers that I see beside each coulee path that lines my way through life, although I know death's always near. These plants are blooming where they've always grown, yet if you see a city map, it's clear the plans for their destruction's long been sown. This flower garden will be paved with time, once men decide to build a bridge near here. To me, such land development's a crime. To me, each bloom I see and smell is dear, but other people here don't think like me. So neither having hopelessness nor hope will help to save the blossoms that I see. I love them fully now. With love, I cope. So love's been my interpretation of the Christian faith that raised me to be me. There's just no permanence aside from love, so I seek love in everything I see. The loss is something that I can't control. When will these petals fall for good? Who knows? But while they bloom, their blooms will fill my soul with love, pure love, that all this nature grows. And this is Prairie Rose. When I was still a teen back in Grand Prairie, a redhead cowgirl turned my head one day. That rose turned every head since she was very appealing to all men in every way. She didn't have to flirt to get attention, and yet she got attention all the same. When she was present, no one had to mention her name, since everybody knew her name. I don't know what she saw in me, strong hands, soft eyes, my smile, who knows? She was one hot commodity, while I was nothing grand to see. Though everyone chose Prairie Rose, my Prairie Rose chose me. Her jeans and sweaters hugged her curves with passion, as though they really loved to hold her tight. Her farm-fresh clothing seemed the height of fashion, since everything she wore had fit just right. With curves like hers, she shouldn't have been lonely. With roses, lonely's natural, it seems. She saved her softest side for my eyes only, though every man would see her in his dreams. I don't know what she saw in me, strong hands, soft eyes, my smile, who knows? She was one hot commodity, while I was nothing grand to see. Though everyone chose Prairie Rose, my Prairie Rose chose me. My Prairie Rose chose me.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to read a poem. It's in regards to my mother, who's my very best friend, and it's called Ode to Lorraine, and she passed away July 24th of 2012. So, oh, what a wonderful mother you were to me. It made me happy thinking you were in our family. To see you suffer made me sad, but to see you smile made me glad. On July 24th, 2012, I lost my best friend, but knowing your death, you made it right to the end. They say when your time is up, you will never know. But over the years, the adversity made you grow. You wanted Veronica and I to marry. In fact, little story is on our second date, I brought my wife over to my house. We were just dating at the time, and she says, "So when you two get married?" And I says, "Actually, it's only our second date." Shh. So she knew. You wanted Veronica and I to marry on August 9th, 2014. You'll be in our hearts, and it will be happy, very, very. You were a legend, a one of a kind. To know you were at peace, and I will never mind. I think of you all the time. As a mother, you were mine, all mine. I hope that you're happy with Veronica and I. To think of you, I often cry. I always wanted to become a cop, school resource officer, to be precise. Sometimes I think to know how you were really nice. Nobody could ever replace you. I cannot wait, and did wait, till August 9th, 2014, to say I do. You'll be with us this special day. What more can I say? Except you're a legend, a one of a kind. Having you as my mother, I will never mind. Thank you. And I'll read one more, if I got time. Thank you. It's called Self-Pity. A bird sits on a branch with a weeping eye, wondering if it will ever fly. A bad thought ponders in its mind. Courage is something it may find. But reaching inside us is what will take, not to hesitate. Self-pity may knock that bird to the ground. Courage will have to be found. So how long does that bird live with self-pity? Only it will know the effect of self-pity. Thank you.
I think the last time I was here was in December, or maybe February, so it's been a few months. Yeah, since that time, actually, I found out that I had been accepted to be published in an anthology of poetry, which is pretty cool. Yeah. It's my first time having my poems published, other than like on my own website. So the poem I'm reading tonight isn't one from that anthology. I had 6 poems accepted into publication. It's because the mic's too low. Here, I'll just sit down. So I had 6 poems actually accepted into that anthology. But this isn't one of them that I'm going to share. But the one I wanted to share was inspired by a phrase I heard, which was "forget her." And I wanted to play on that and see how many phrases I could find and words I could find that rhymed with "forget her." And so you'll see some of those sounds reflected throughout the poem, as well as some other repetition as well. So the poem's called Queen of the Bees. How many lectures told me to forget her, reject her with violence and kept her so silent, forced into compliance and left her in quiet, robbed we of her nectar and tried to correct her, taught me to detest her and lied to protect her. But power and glory, she's my protector. Allow her own story to be the connector. Her absence they festered, I longed to address her. No longer compliant, reach out to request her. Strengthen defiance to willingly accept her. Faith and a prayer finally connect her. A mother is there, and they must respect her.
Now this should be a good lesson to all of your young whippersnappers. This getting old ain't for sissies. The first thing I want to write is a poem I wrote for my grandson, who is a musician. So it is written from the viewpoint of a young man. I got fired today and felt like a loser. I took myself down to my favorite old boozer. Found no comfort within the walls, just hootin', hollering, and whistle catcalls. All the good old boys lined up on stools, carrying on like a bunch of old fools. I looked up to see what whoever was doing and found an old lady was on the bar dancing, swirling her skirt, laughing and prancing. I took a close look and got knocked to my fanny. The old bird on the barn is my beloved old granny. Now, she can't mow the lawn or shovel the snow, so how she got up there, I'd like to know. She's old and she's gray, but she's got the moves, loose with the highs and tight with the grooves. She's sassy, she's flirty, she's bold, and she's forgotten she's old. I took her waist in my hand and swung her on down. She bought me a beer and ordered a rum, put a soft hand on mine and said, "Don't tell your mum." And then, in my father's town. In my father's town, when he walks, he stops and speaks to children, seeking only a smile to ease his age or a laugh to trigger memories. In his town, my father talks to children, and in my town, I counsel my children that they will not speak to strangers.
This next one's called What's Scarier Than the Dark. When I was younger, I was scared of the dark, scared of the unknown, the pure black that hid my inner demons, the demons that would grow to break me down. Age 6, I had my first suicidal thought, and somehow the dark didn't seem so scary anymore. My mind was scarier than any piece of the dark could be. I was 6 years old when I started self-harming. Odd, isn't it? Being bullied and pushed into walls, called every name in the book. Those thoughts only kept getting worse. It was a constant time of me just wanting to disappear into thin dust. Would anybody remember me? Would anybody miss me? It didn't really matter to me. My life continued like this till I was 18, and my best friend Jazzy saved me from my last self-harm attempt. The attempt that almost made me lose my life. The attempt that almost made my best friends Kiara and Jazzy lose their hope in this world. Ever since that day, my thoughts have been clear. I've been happier. I don't get those urges anymore. And for once, my brain doesn't seem scarier than the dark. And then the last one is in memory of my dog who passed away about 10 years ago on this day. And it's called Gizmo. June 26, 2001 was the day you came into this world. I didn't know you yet or the impact you'd have on my life. January 9th, 2002 was the day you became my best friend when I came into your life. Making the days brighter, it was just you and me and a bunch of love. When I think about love, I think about you. How you used to follow me around when you knew I was upset. When my mom and dad were fighting, you were always there to lick away my tears. December 26, 2015 was the day I lost you. You collapsed outside a week before, and I told Mom to take you in. I wasn't ready for the news, for my best friend to get taken away from me. I remember how you tried to lick away my tears that day, but couldn't. That day, I lost a part of me that aches almost 10 years later. I'll never forget the love we had and how you made my days brighter. And when I think about you, when I think about love, I'll think about you. And then I have the little quote, "How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard," from Winnie the Pooh. Thank you.
My nerves are here. I just love listening to everyone's work. Like, it's making me cry. It's all beautiful. I just have one piece to share with you tonight, and it doesn't have a title. If you ask me what grand adventures I hope for, if you ask me how to change the world, if you ask me what kind of mountains I want to climb, what kind of life I want to live, I would say that we all have undefinable longings. I would say this never-ending normalcy of dirty dishes and shift work in the day-to-day space that is seemingly endless keeps me stuck in the ordinary. I would say I don't know how to change the world. I don't even know how to pay last month's gas bill. I would say I feel it, the yearning for adventure that sits in the bottom of your lungs and pulls the breath in and out. I would say in the just another day space, there are seemingly endless lists of ordinary to-dos. Get the oil changed, return the library books, fix the drafty window, put air in the tires, dig up the weeds in the lawn, but the yellow ones seem so happy. Finish the presentation for Monday's class, don't forget the ringing phone and the chicken for tomorrow's lunch, and it just piles and piles on. So if you ask me how I plan to change the world, I would fumble a bit, avoid the question. And I would say that this house is too chilled in the winter air and that I'd really just prefer a really strong cup of coffee, but I'll take the tea all the same. I would say that this line is taking too long. Do you really need to get that 5-cent discount on hot dogs? But it wouldn't accelerate the process. I would say that people who believe in God are plagued by severe doubts that never seem to settle, but I don't need to remember the doubt. I would say that it's been great to be here these last years, and it's been an experience I will always remember, but you already know that. And I would say that if there was a reason for anything to blossom, it was because it was the first time. I would say adventure is the vague desires that linger on the lashes of the sleeping, but you won't stop asking, how will I change the world? So I'll tell you the truth. The truth is, the electric kettle's not working, but dancing barefoot on an icy floor while the dog sniffs breakfast is an ordinary sweetness. The truth is, I sit here and look at all the people here and wonder at the miraculous diversity here in this one place teeming with hopes and dreams, griefs and losses, and maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay if we're not all trying to change the world, because we're changing the world right now with every breath that these lips expel, because we exist here. The truth is, it's not about changing the world or finding an adventure. It's the stop and go, the tug and ebb and flow of everyday life that continues to dazzle. It's those minutes when you feel the pulse of your own life pressing against your skin and the way the grass whispers against your feet that make you realize this is what it is to be alive. The truth is, adventure is held in the quality of silence between you and me after a deep conversation. Because I've learned that if there's anything left to believe in, it is the light left behind in the last star disappearing as the sun steals over the horizon, and only these hands remain left open as every other door closes. The truth is, there is something extraordinary in the intermittent conversations and the light in your eyes, the kind of possibility that holds the answer to all the world's discontent. And the weight of a smile is one I will carry out of this moment to the next. You and I, me and you, orbiting closer and closer, anchored by the fragility of this life. I've learned there is movement in this life that is inexplicably grand. And when light flickers over the horizon, it begins to blaze a trail of incredible discovery that will last well past any darkness.
I appreciate everyone putting out their heart on the stage. It's not easy. So I got just one poem for you guys today. It's about love. So here we go. I kind of dream of a time I fall in love. I kind of dream in my mind when I hold you up. Higher and higher above all else, I want to hold you curled up, just thinking about us. Together in a bed, rest your head on my chest and feel your heartbeat and your soft, sweet breath. Hold your hand and reassure you I am your man till death. Put my hand on your thigh in the car as we drive, late at night under the stars, and hear your voice sing like nobody else is even around, like nobody else is even around. And yes, I want to hear your voice say my name with I love you, said right after. As we fill a room with love and laughter, kisses on my lips and on my cheeks, tell you to come closer to me, rest your head on my chest as I watch you fall slowly and softly asleep. As I dream of a time when I fell in love, under the midnight sky, flying high above the thoughts in my mind that I think define me. But what defines me is how our fingers intertwine and your voice matches mine. How we can sit and talk for hours and hours, for 9 till 5 about our lives. And we'll take showers together, put a flower in your hair and tell you to never be scared as long as I am there, because I will protect you from harm. Darling, as long as you're in my arms, I promise to protect you from harm. And I'll play you guitar, sing chords from the heart, about the times we share and how much I care and how you freeze me in my speech. I have no clue what to do or what to say to you. All that can come out is a truthful way of saying, I love you. So I'll never leave your side. You make me feel alive. Make me feel like life just might be all right. I can't explain everything inside, but I promise to give you my life. And I promise when I make you my wife. And yes, with all the strings attached, how our socks have to match, how I can never truly grasp how I found someone quite as beautiful as you. Quite as beautiful as you. So yes, I kind of dream about love. It's something I do. Yes, I overthink, and I think too much, but yes, I dream about love. Thank you.
Okay, so I have 2 shorter ones and a longer poem. Saddle up. First one is called The Phoenix, and it is dedicated to a friend who is here tonight. She flew into a window one day, got stuck inside the house, frantic flapping against the glass. Closing the window, caging her, was almost accidental. And it was a pretty cage, and he brought her seeds and fruit, and sometimes she could flap around the room. She sang of freedom, and he smiled and hummed along and complimented the beauty of her song. After a while, she learned how to sit pretty with clipped wings, but her plumage was fading. Yet all he saw was beauty. He wanted her to stay forever that way. But it was in her nature to change. Her threnody was a warning call, and he smiled and hummed along and complimented the beauty of her song. When she finally sparked to a burst of flame and the bars melted and pooled around her, he stood on the wreckage astonished with blistered hands, the house burning down around him. He wept to see her winging away. But her trills of freedom and the new feathers coming in are more beautiful than before. And now I know something of why selkies steal back their skins. I'm the one that chooses to stay, but I never had chains or a cage with a locked door. I used to pity or sigh for the ones who fled. It's not my story, and I don't want it to be. But they never boxed me away. For her, and for him. I can come and go as I please, which means it's safe to stay. But because of the Phoenix, now I see that there's more than one kind of happily ever after. This next one is called Sapphic Triage. There was a woman who liked to draw hearts and bones, but wasn't so good at using her own. Or at least the path between her heart and her lips was not well trodden. She kept her secrets close, her disdain closer, and her bed in the closet. Which would have been fine if it was a single mattress. She wanted to be my bit of rough, and I was young and nervous and not good at being a lesbian yet. And she wasn't as brave as she said she was, or as patient. And I got hung up and pathetic, and I mooned around her proverbial locked door like a coyote around the back of a farmhouse until a shotgun blast scared me off. It was humiliating, but it was a flesh wound. The bullet landed in her fiancé's chest. I was just the rebound. She took the bullet I dodged. And a decade later, her fiance, who was in fact more than just a very good friend, despite what the heartless queen told her parents, still has the gangrene and a sucking chest wound that never healed. It just got old. So even though my injuries long since silvered over into keloid, I've got tweezers and bandages and a magnifying glass, and I'm going back in because an EMT dealt the injury, and I have no medical qualifications. But I do have art, and I'm good with a needle. Broken hearts can only heal on their own, but physio and a friend can make it hurt a little less.
I have a bit of a mixed bag tonight for poems. And because Raine is here, I have to read a poem that I read inspired by one of her poems. Her poem was called Daily Medicine, and mine is called My Daily Medicine. We had a poetry night at Cat's Circle, and I prepared Raine's poem and prose because I loved it so much. My Daily Medicine. My daily medicine has an endless supply of stories, poetry, and words of encouragement, caring support, and love. The connections with my loved ones, deep conversations, finding meaning in the mysteries of life, and the humor to elevate the unbearable to bearable bites. My daily medicine is starting my day working out at an outdoor gym in snow, rain, wind, and sunshine. Taking walks, hiking city trails and mountains. Swimming in the ocean, rivers, and lakes. Boarding, boating, kayaking, basking in the sunshine. My daily medicine is growing a garden to give us healthy food to eat and flowers to nourish our hearts and our eyes. The next one started out, I could have committed a crime, but I chose not to. The title is What Makes You Happy. Someone's recent bad choices caused me a lot of problems. My first reaction was to rip them a new cavity, but I kept remembering a funny t-shirt I have seen. It said something like this: I let karma fix it because if I fix it, I end up in jail. Well, I have never done anything illegal in my life, except for smoking weed before it was legal. And I'm not likely to do anything now when I'm over 60. During my processing the damages this person caused, I wondered if they are happy about their bad decisions. I doubt that they are. I started to think about things that make me happy, and there are many. Here are a few I can remember. It makes me happy when I meet a new customer and I discover that I know his wife and she greets me with a big smile and an even bigger hug because we always liked each other. It makes me happy when I do a good job and my customer is happy about it. It makes me happy when a happy customer talks about me, and as a result, I get more work. When people appreciate what I do, and they tell me about it, or they pay me more than I asked for. When I spend time with people I like, and people who like me, and we treat each other with respect. It makes me happy to connect with someone new and to have deep conversations. It makes me happy when I give a gift and the recipient is happy about it. When I make a meal and someone likes it. When I look at a garden and see pretty flowers or healthy, delicious food. When I can spend time in nature and swim in the natural waters. When I can crack jokes and laugh with a friend. It makes me happy to see the wonders of the world like rainbows, the northern lights, the mountains, and crashing waves. To see sunshine and the big blue Alberta sky.
This first poem is about being sunburned. I'm quite fair, and we played a car show at the end of May, and I didn't put on any sunscreen because it was a little cloudy that day. It was rainy, it was sunny in the morning, but yeah, the result is a poem named Scorched. So I'm going to read that to start. It goes like this. Oh, there it is. Scorched. First felt like a gentle kiss of sunlight from the oh-so-welcome blue skies, non-threatening spring morning rays through the afternoon's persistence on my once creamy white complexion, all aglow, now mimicking some resemblance to the fire-red flesh of the summer's fruit's finest tomato. I reach for my aloe and twist my body to lay on the only shoulder it may without pain. Hope to soothe with days passing and bring out a soft bronze, instead of snowflakes or what I imagine would look like the dander of swans. I wish so much for the former. Now, to ease, I seek deep dermis reviving moisture, so that this unexpected wishful tan may be reinforced. But for now, and for the several hours to follow, I remain scorched. I was very burnt, and I did become the dander of swans on my right arm. All right, and this is a new song I wrote. I just put chords to a couple days ago, but we haven't played it yet. And I'm just going to read my new song. It's called Aligned and Allied with Karma. Yeah. It's about, a song about respect and karma. It's kind of funny that Teri read that because I'm like, we're on the same wavelength here. Here we go. Show me patience. I might have a little bit of a beat in there when I say it too because it's still in my head like a song. Show me patience. Speak to me kind words. Show me empathy. God knows it's what I deserve. Give to me all those right feelings that I put on this earth. And show me respect. Show me respect. Show me respect. I'll do unto others as I expect for myself. I won't ask for a helping and not be prepared to dish it out. I'll do unto others as I expect for myself. I don't want to take a grand plate and not know how to dish it out and show respect. Show me respect. Show me respect. Because karma's not the enemy, it's the ally I know. I live every day and I'm still proud of how I'm moving on forth. I said karma's not an enemy, it's an ally I know. Because I'm proud every day of this code which I stand for and this capacity for growth. Karma's not the enemy, it's an ally I know. I stand tall behind my decisions, convictions, the love that I show to the human race, to the animals, to the planet we live on, the rainforest, to oceans and space, to sunset and dawn, to the multiverse and the great beyond. Oh, karma's not the enemy. It's an ally I know, 'cause I live every day and it's ever expanding. The love I feel and show to the human race, to the animals, to the planet we live on, the rainforest, to oceans and space, to sunset and dawn, to the multiverse and the great beyond. So show others patience, speak to them kind words, show them empathy. God knows it's what we all deserve. Get back all those good feelings that you put out on this world and show respect, have respect, give respect. Karma's not the enemy, it's an ally we know, 'cause we live every day and it's ever expanding the love we feel and show. Karma's not the enemy, we have great capacity for growth when we show respect, collective respect, when we show respect. When we show respect, collective respect, when we give respect. Collectively we rise with mutual respect. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, it's my first time here. I didn't know this was happening, but I like to write. And, well, I just wrote this on the go, but just want to say it's beautiful. Everyone that comes up here, it's been very beautiful. And as you can tell by my accent, Spanish is my first language. And so I was just telling my new friend Michelle that, like, maybe I can do something in Spanish. And she said, but I'm like, nobody would understand it. And she said, well, they can feel it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's true. So I did something in Spanglish, and then I'll do something in Spanish only. Yeah, so open up your soul and your mind, and you'll feel it. It's called Cada Mañana, every morning. This is, por la mañana, al despertar, aprecio el sol en mi observar. Todo es calma, todo es paz. It is so beautiful. It's a new day. All that I want is to go away. Please, Father, help me. Please guide my steps into the night and throughout the day. Entiendo que me equivoqué y que mucho he pagado, pero mi corazón aún no ha sanado. So every morning I get up and I say, thank you, thank you. I know one day I won't be around, and that's okay. But my stories and my children will stay. Oh my God. It's, okay. Si tú supieras lo que tú me haces que yo sienta, si tú supieras que cada vez que te veo, solo pienso en no mentir, solo pienso en mejorar y decirte lo que tú me haces sentir. Y es que no quiero irme, y es que no quiero por ti morirme. Te pienso, te deseo y te siento. Y es que yo quiero que conmigo y con el viento tú te me acerques y decirte un cuento hermoso, un cuento bello que nunca acabe. Cuánto te quiero.
Hi. So I haven't really been able to make it for the past month or so. I'm not too sure. I've had some rough stuff happen, which is always a great fuel for poetry. So I've got some that I'd like to share. It's a little short notice, so I don't have it pulled up right now, but I will, and I've got one on my phone as well. So this one's called Just End It Then. You yell, you scream, and bang on the door. I'm scared, and I crumple to the floor. You take me by the hand like something you had planned and lift me up and ask me if I'm okay and say you'd never hit me. I should have just ended it then. This is what I put up with every day. You say as your mother asks you to clean your own mess, I'll do it later. But it's still the same as tomorrow. You won't get off your ass, and I should have just ended it then. Oh, by the way, I'm on bail. What? For what? I got too drunk one night and made bad choices, you say, while drinking more alcohol. Can I take a toke, you ask, while telling me a story of you hurting people while high? I should have just ended it then. We don't need a condom. I've never gotten anyone pregnant before. You say 5 minutes after telling me you have. It feels different, you complain, as I shake in fear of the pain I will soon be subject to. Does it feel good, you ask, as I cry? I should poke holes in your condom so you can get pregnant. You joke after I explain how scared I am of that possibility. I should have just ended it then. I feel disgusting, I explain while crying. I'm hurting, I say as I bleed. I can't feel any emotion. I tried to express while just trying to feel something again. If you're gonna leave, just say that, is your response. Go take a shower. I'm sorry I come with so much baggage. I apologize for things I can't control. Your only answer is K. I should have just ended it then. I think I'm asexual. I begin to explain. That's okay, you decide seconds after. I can't have sex again, I expand. Just end it if you're gonna keep playing games, you huff, exasperated. I should have just ended it then. And you say, just end it then. Yeah. This one's called And It Finally Means Something Again. He handed me a knife as he lit a match and set me aflame. He started on my chest, moved down to my stomach, then without any hesitation at all, he burned that spot between my legs, and as I was burning, turning to ash, he grabbed my hand, kissed it, and told me to cut the strings, and I did. I reached into my mind and I cut every string. Happiness, snip. Sadness, snip. Anger, snip. Contentment, snip. Envy, snip. Every single one, and I collected them in my hands. And once he stopped burning me, I didn't let the flames go out. I tended to them like an old friend, feeding them the strings that I cut from my head. And like a plant, the strings grew from my head each day. And as they continued to sprout, I'd cut them over and over again, feeding the ever painful flame till I had burned clean through my heart. And still I let the fire burn. Till one day it rained. And it rained just for me. And it put out all the flames. But I didn't stop cutting the strings when they grew. I just had nothing to feed them to. So all I could do was look and see for the first time, not fuel for the flame, not food for the thought, but something beautiful, and they meant something again. And as I woke up from the nothingness and the strings I let grow again, I heard the instrumental music mixing with the crickets from outside, the music mixing with the music, the cool breeze wafting through the open window, pink light sending kisses to my eyes, a smile, as a notification dings from my phone, scars that have begun to heal, and it finally means something again.
Applause to the past two readers. They were really good. This is actually a song, but I'll do it like a poem. It's about a Roman goddess. So in Roman mythology, they have the sun, the moon, and then the aurora borealis and the rainbow. And that's like the third sister in the family. And there's a story that goes where she fell in love with a mortal man, and she promised him he would live on forever so their love could continue to grow. But she didn't promise him youth. So he continued to grow old and old and old, and they fell out of love. And it's just a really sad story. It's bad. It makes a good song. Hey, Aurora, when you rise, your colors bursting into life. Sorry, it's really hard to do as a poem. Way up high above the ground, when I feel your love, oh, I just fly like a floating cloud. Just the way that you make me feel. Your smiling sunrise is so ethereal. Yes, I love the sun and the moon, but my dear Aurora, they got nothing on you. So my love, Aurora, my love, Aurora, come and wake me up. Okay, this is really hard. I was not expecting this, I'm sorry. Kiss me with your wings of song. My love, Aurora, meet me at the dawn. Give me your love until you're gone. So my aurora piercing the night, the way you warm me up inside. Yes, I love the sun and moon, but my dear Aurora, they ain't got nothing on you. Mm-hmm. So my love, Aurora, come and wake me up, kiss me with your winds of song. So my love, Aurora, meet me at the dawn, give me your love until you're gone. So my Aurora, oh, how I love your morning breeze, so it's so sweet, how you sweep me off my feet. But when you leave, how I cry for you. And I know that you've been crying too. Oh, I can tell by the morning dew. And I know it's hard while we're apart. But my Aurora, I'm still in love with you. Thanks. And I got one more. It's kind of about the importance of acknowledging the darker side of us. You know, we all have a devil on our shoulder, but we need to know he's there to keep him in check. So it's called The Devil's Lullaby. Please enjoy. Oh, my devil, he likes to hide between the lines of a lovely lullaby. Oh, my angel, she hates the night, 'cause in the darkness is where my demons thrive. Oh, my demons, yes, they can write. The words they rhyme will warm you up inside, but they won't find just what you like. You'll be staring into the cobra's eyes. Oh, my devil, he plays a chord that pleases everyone except the Lord. He's got an offer you can't ignore. He'll buy you everything you can afford. The sound of lust with notes of greed, disguised in a simple melody. A harmony so sickly sweet. Oh, he'll play the strings of your vanity. He'll say, sing for me with all your jealousy. Tell me everything you envy. When you hear me speaking in your chimney, come to me and I'll give you all your dreams. His songs are sweet, a taste of pride, but think twice before you take another bite. You'll be running out of time, you'll be running for your life, you'll become his next delicious sacrifice. So give me light, give me peace. Lord, please have mercy upon me. Forgive me for all my jealousy, all my lust, all my greed, everything I envy. Oh Lord, please, please, please love me. Thank you very much.
But I just wrote this poem. It was inspired by the person who did the mental health poem. I don't remember her name. But this one's called Mental Illness. I don't want to hear you say it'll be okay. I don't want your inspirational quotes. It just doesn't help. Let me curl up and cry. I took psychology, and it's proven if we don't cry, we will end up numb. Antisocial. It's not always going to be okay. Just hold me. Let me know you're here for me. But don't bring out the self-help books, or I'll throw them at your face. I'm not a lost cause or attention-seeking when I send you a picture of me sobbing. I don't hide behind a mask like society has taught me to do. I am human. I am mentally ill, so don't tell me it's going to be okay until you've listened. Thank you. The next one's like a really short one. Old enough to bleed, old enough to breed. A sentence I wish I never got to know the meaning of. I want my body back. Thank you.
So thank you everybody for being here, new and old. And many thanks to Kara. Where are you? I can't see you from all the light. Yay! Many thanks to Kara. And the rest of the staff at the Owl for their awesome venue and excellent service. Thanks to Ryan from Rogers TV for recording, editing our event, for broadcasting it, and putting it on YouTube for us. Many thanks to our sponsors, Stacy and Carrie Oler, for sponsoring us this month. This is the last month they sponsored, but they've been sponsoring us for 6 months this year. And our new sponsor who disappeared, oh, there she is, Grandma Tina. She's our next sponsor for the next 3 months. And thank you to my co-pilot, Kat, for being my co-pilot and helping me ironing out the kinks and doing a lot of the behind of the scenes work. Thank you, all of you poets, for participating and our audiences here at the Owl. And thank you to our Rogers audiences for watching us on cable and on YouTube. See you all on July 24th, which is our next open mic. After that, we have August 28th, September 25th, October 23rd, November 27th, and December 18th. In December, we are gathering a week before our regular time because our regular time would be Christmas Day. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Have a great night and drive safe.